This morning, actually just about 24 hours ago, I woke up in Lisbon, Portugal, but now I am home in Pleasant Grove, Utah, ready to share a project with you because you know what? The Great American Stampin' Show must go on. So I've got a project ready and I am going to show it to you and I hope that you like it. And if you do, you can give me a thumbs up and maybe I'll win. Last week, Brandy won our competition. She created your favorite card and got the most votes. Who's it going to be this week? You get to decide. And so make sure to check out all 4 videos and then vote for the one that you like best. You can find those links in the description of this video just down below. Okay, one more thing. Find the link to sign up for my email list because we are sending out Christmas card tutorials. We have 8 of the 12 weeks left. So you'll want to do that. And I think that's about it. I'm excited to show you. Let's take a look. Here is the number 14 card sketch found on page 22 of the annual catalog. This is what we're doing for season 3. We're marching right through these, 1 a week. So we're on week 14. These are so fun to create with. Take my word for it and go grab one of the sketches and create something with it. You'll see it's really nice because it gives you some boundaries, but there's still tons of creative opportunities. So you can see there's like basically a card front and then a smaller piece and then a label across. Pretty simple there. And I'm going to follow that interpretation pretty well. But what I've got for my different pieces that I'm using are citrus blooms and then some cardstock, blues and greens. Now, I will tell you, my inspiration has 100% come from my trip that I went on because there are just so much tile. So I'm going to do a stamping version of tile. And I was really surprised. I mean, I know there's like a lot of dark blue tile, and I'm getting a little bit of water in here because I'm going to do a little watercolor wash. I know there's always a lot of dark blue tile, and I expected that, but I didn't expect to see so many other colors too, which was so incredible. However, I am going to use blueberry bushel to create tile. So, but first, before I do that, this is white, a white ink refill, and I'm going to do a watercolor wash on this Shy Shamrock cardstock. Now I have cut this piece to, what is it? I can't remember now. I think it's 3 3/4 by 4. Let me double check. 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, so I'm looking at this, and I think this is about 2 3/4 by 4 this way. And so I've actually cut it with 2 inches wider, and you'll see why. I'm going to cut it up. So for now, I'm just doing one big piece, and I'm going to do a little watercolor wash. So I've got on this white, so it's a whitewash, really. That's kind of what I'm going for. So I'm going to, I don't want a ton of water. I don't want it to be like all soupy and wet like I do with some other watercolor washes, so just a little bit. Okay, so I'm mixing up this and I'm just going to drag it across this, and I don't want to cover it completely. I want it to be a little bit rough. So really this is just what this is going to be, is it's going to be a door, and I'm making it just look kind of a little bit weathered. That's kind of my plan. Okay, so that's looking great. It's looking so perfect, and now I'm going to dry it. This is looking awesome. Now I'm going to just go back with my same water painter, but with more of a dry brush and dry ink refill. That's why I made 2 different spots. One I added water to and the other one I didn't. So I'm just going to kind of get a little bit of this and drag it across even more like inconsistently, and just to kind of make it look sort of like a wood grain. I am super pleased with the way this turned out. I realized though that I did the wood grain up and down instead of side by side as I was intending, but I don't know, maybe that will be cool. So now I'm going to come in here and cut 2-inch strips off of this. Let's let's see, do I have it the right direction? Maybe I need to measure really quick. So this is 4. Yep, I do have it the right direction. Okay, so I'm going to cut 2 inches, and then I'm going to use those for ornamentation on the door. So there's one, and here's the other. And so now I'll just restate. This piece was originally 4 3/4 by 4 inches. So now I've cut these 2 pieces off, and so now the piece remaining is 2 3/4 by 4 inches. So fits perfectly in my little template right there. Now these 2 pieces I'm going to take, and they are 4 inches, so I'm going to cut them in half at 2 inches. And that white ink that I put on there, the second round, isn't actually all the way dry yet, which is okay. It's probably just getting on my fingers. It might smear a little bit, but that might actually add to the look and make it look even better. Okay, next step. This is the tile part. Now, in Portugal, it was just door after door after door of tile around it, and then beautiful, colorful doors. And I was on the plane on the way home today thinking about, how am I going to do this? What am I going to do? How can I recreate this look? And so I remembered this stamp set, and look at this little stamp right here. This is so similar to a lot of the patterns over there. So I knew that was meant to work together. See how the design of it, I'm like, okay, that has to work together so you can just stamp, stamp, stamp all in a row. So that's what I'm going to do. Now the edges of this are most important. Just want to make sure that it's as straight as possible. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay because tile really isn't either. But I'm going to just keep these points straight up and down as much as I can. And look at how perfectly this fits together. Okay, so you just keep that like that, and then it layers on top. Oof! Whoever at Stampin' Up! Designed this, they're kind of a genius because it works together great. Now it is red rubber, so it makes it a little bit more difficult, or let's see, cling, we call these cling stamps. Makes it a little bit more difficult to see what I'm doing. But if you put your sticker on in the right place, which I have pretty much, then it should work. All finished. This is a little bit messier than I would like it. I caught one of the edges right there and have that space in the middle, but I think that one will be fine. But you know what? I am going with it anyway because stamping never is perfect, and so that's okay. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to make a little border around this. A lot of times when I saw the doors with the tile, they would have borders with them, and they were really cool. And so what I'm doing is I'm just using a ruler to do a quarter, let's see, I guess it's an 1/8 of an inch, because on my grid paper I have a 1/4 of an inch, and I'm lining the paper up with that, the cardstock up with that, and then I'm putting the ruler about halfway. So I'm just going to make a border all the way around, and then I'm going to make a second border inside that. Okay, so now it's got a frame around it, and I smeared a little bit of the ink so it's kind of continued to get messed up, which is okay again. But I thought maybe I'd even add some of these like flickers. I don't usually like to use my Stampin' Blends like this, and this doesn't really even seem to be working anyway. So I wonder if I need to get, hold please, whoops. Wow, knocking everything over here. I'll just get my blueberry bushel ink and add a little bit of splatters this way, because I want it to just kind of add to it and make it look even more I don't know, just more interesting, more dirty, more something. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I need to get a water painter. I've got this old paintbrush right here. I'll use that. Okay, let's get this. Let's get some of that, and we'll just kind of really go for it. Okay, perfect. And then one more idea I wanted to try, and I wasn't sure if I was going to or not, but since this tile has gone the way it has, let's do it. Let's see what happens. I'm going to take my little brush and even add some more just color to it like this. And a lot of this is going to be covered up, but it will just give it more character. I love ink techniques. It's my most favorite. Now I did use a Night of Navy Stampin' Blend because my Blueberry Bushel Stampin' Blend is really struggling. So I think that's okay. I think the different colors play well together. But you know, if you're one that likes all the colors to be the same, then keep that in mind. Let's move on. I've got a card base of Balmy Blue, one of my favorite and most used colors. And I'm going to layer this on that. Oh, that's looking awesome. And then this is my door. Now, of course, I got some splattering onto that unintentionally. I'm going to layer these on like this. Oh, this is looking cute, isn't it? And now I realize these are going to have to be trimmed a little bit because they're the same width, but I want them to fit inside the door. So I'll trim each of those next. Moving right along, I've got these pieces all cut to the right size now. Ooh, I'm not sure they're working out equidistant, but hey, who's looking, I guess, right? Meaning I'm pasting them closer to the top than I did to the bottom, but that's going to be fine. In fact, we could just turn it around and be like that if we wanted, but no, I like it better like this. Then I've got some dimensionals already stuck to this. I'm going to stick this to the tile, our beautiful cobalt blue tile. I love the color cobalt. Gosh, has Stampin' Up! Ever had a color named cobalt? I don't think it has. There's a lot of layers on this card, just piling it right up. And finally, we're going to stick that down right there in the middle. Let's look at our template one more time to see what we're missing. All right, well, it's pretty obvious. So we've got the card front, we've got the smaller piece inside, and then I've embellished with a few more pieces to give the door some ornamentation. We just need that label. So I've already cut and prepared this just checking in, and it's going to go right here. Oh, I've got dimensionals on it and everything. I've got mini dimensionals, so they're a little bit taller. So I'm just going to put this right, let's see, where should I put it? Yeah, I'm going to put it just right here. And so that will just kind of be like, you know, hovering right there, so you can still tell I'm not covering up the middle part. Well, and anyway, the template called for it to be at the top. So it's in the perfect place. And now I've got a wild wheat bow. I felt like this needed just a little bit more, one more color to add to it. So a little wild wheat bow right here. And then how about some wild wheat, I don't know, what are these gems? Dots, opaque sparkle dots. All right, I'm going to just stick a couple of these down, try not to overthink where I'm putting them. And this card is in the books. Let's see. Now I was concerned there's no doorknob, so maybe let's just put one right here and it can act as a doorknob if needed. And then we can add a couple more down here for kicks. Let's see, maybe one down here and another one right over here. Okay, there it is, my entry for Great American Stampin' Show Season 3, Episode 14, inspired by my trip to Portugal. I'm going to be making tons of cards. Oh, but I wanted to show you the one I made, my prototype that I made beforehand. I did opposite colors because I saw a lot of green tile too, and that was probably my favorite. It was so cool. So I started out with that one, but then I wanted to try the blue too. So very similar, hopefully inspiring in some way for you to try some different techniques or, whatever you want to do. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you sticking with me till the end here. Would love your thumbs up if you like my card, and don't forget to watch my teammates' cards too, my competitors. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.